Okay, in the month of March, Netflix gave us a big new science fiction film starring Millie Bobby Brown, freaking Chris Pratt. This list goes on. The Electric State. Is it me or they dropped the ball with the title, The Electric State? I don't know. I do love this poster. And guys, before I get into the review, don't forget, man, like, comment, follow this TikTok page. If you're a fan of movies, right? You can never find what to watch. You know what you should do? Stop this video, pause, go to the front of my TikTok page, hit that link in bio, and subscribe to the YouTube channel while you're at it. Now, this came out of Netflix top 10 movies right now, number one on the list exactly. And my first star reactions to this film, I dug it. I think if we wanted to have this in big theaters, we would need a little more money. I need a little better script. But honestly, for a streaming platform, this was an amazing, really good, enjoying film to watch at home. As I was doing research, supposedly this film is based off of a popular book series called The Electric State as well, which I thought was pretty interesting. I love when we're adapting books. This is like a great family film, but also a kid film. It has a little dark moments, and I feel like it has a couple of different tones in the movie. To me, it gives tones of similar kids' movies we grew up with, like The Iron Giant, or this movie right here, Robots. I think that's done with DreamWorks, if you've ever seen Robots. But then in the emotional way, it has like some big heartbeats that I've seen from a film like Bicentennial Man. You know, these movies that come across where you're trying to give more human aspects to a robot character. Now, this is a tearjerker of a sibling story. We follow Millie Bobby Brown with her younger brother in this story, who suddenly basically goes into a coma from a terrible car accident. He is the big motivation of this film for her, because him being missing is what starts her on her journey and finding this robot who is basically a robot from a cartoon show that they used to watch when they were kids, which I found super cute. Levi Brown's character does an amazing job of this teen angst, chip on her shoulder. She then gets thrusted upon this crazy journey after realizing her brother's spirit is in the robot. So now Chris Pratt decides to tag along with her and his big, huge robot friend to help her find her brother's body at this secret doctor's office. Now, to me, though, the world building in this film was done in detail. Like, they make robotics a part of our American history down to the creation of Walt Disney's Disney parks. Literally, they make it so that robotics came into our American history where they started doing the jobs that we didn't want to do anymore. Till the point where the robots got tired and started to revolt, which I find super kind of dark, but comedic darkness, where it's this whole dramatic story of robots overthrowing America, basically going on a strike and saying, screw this crap, and then basically running away from society in some cases, where then our American military was even at war with them at certain points, which is where you get the first cameo of Chris Pratt. Man, this thing is chock full of surprises. You know, to be honest, I didn't really like Chris Pratt's character in the beginning of the movie, and then by the end of it, I did not expect how much he would just randomly make me laugh. Now, what makes this movie pretty strong and entertaining is that there's not just one basic villain in this movie, in my opinion. Danny Tunchi character is what you would call the mad scientist of the story, and one of my most interesting and favorite characters. The scientist that pushes robotics forward in the movie, and the way he does it, he creates this helmet that's for virtual, kind of like a virtual reality helmet, but in this world, this helmet can connect to a robotic machine. So basically, in a world where we wouldn't have to really be robotic per se, but we can connect ourselves to a helmet where we can control a basic android. And of course, just like most science fictions, he goes mad with power and then comes up with this concept of taking human conscious into a robotic body. Now, Carlos Deposito's character was a semi-villain to me, but he was one of those villains that changed over time in stories. It took him by the end of the movie to realize a lot of his motivation, his anger was kind of pretty much silly because the robots are no different than the humans of what they were trying to say. I gotta give a shout out to Woody Nelson voicing over Mr. Peanut. The visual effects for this character was spot on. Some of my favorite moments, hands down. As well as Anthony Mackie, who I did not even know was in this film. I had no idea he was the voice of this robot. Had me laughing with Chris Pratt every single time. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you saw this film, what was your favorite scene from it?